Optimus Prime and Galvatron gathered into a standoff at the center of Mount Port-a-Crayon. "I've been waiting for this moment for a long time," said Galvatron. "How does it feel, Optimus Prime? I imagine now you wish you could take it all back, do you? The day you refused my truce." Megatron. "I used to be Megatron, but you, Optimus, you were the one who killed him that day. Now I am reborn as Galvatron, and soon Cybertron will be reborn as well." Optimus charged towards Galvatron and tackled him. They both proceeded to fall down the mountainside. Optimus pinned Galvatron to the mountain with his battle blades, but Galvatron retaliated by kicking him towards his torso and proceeded to blast Optimus with his new cannon weapon. Optimus backed up as his Galvatron proceeded to light him up, setting the entire forest around him on fire. Optimus was furious. "Galvatron, why can't you just stop this once and for all? Why do you always seek to bring trouble to a world smaller than us?" he said. "I was ready to let this go, Optimus. I was ready to accept peace between the two of us. I was ready for the both of us to rule and rebuild our home together," said Galvatron. "But you didn't want that. You rejected my peace offering and decided to do things your own way, like always. Whether you want to admit it or not, you caused all of this, Optimus." The two continued to fight, with Galvatron blasting the mountainside and causing a huge rock slide, ambushing Optimus from behind. "Is that really what you wanted, Galvatron? Peace? Or did you just want me to be on the same page as you for once, just because you saved my life?" said Optimus. "I know you too well by now, Galvatron. Multiple times in the past, I wanted us to see eye to eye and bring forth a new age of peace on Cybertron together. I embraced you as my brother, willing to make great change. But you never seemed interested. You had a choice to better yourself. But every time you were given the choice, you chose to be a Decepticon," said Optimus. Ultra Magnus pulled out his Magnus hammer. "Optimus, let me help you." "No, Ultra Magnus, let me handle Galvatron." Optimus and Galvatron proceeded to drag each other across the mountain. Astrotrain and Deadlock arrived. "What's going on here? Why are the Autobots here?" asked Deadlock. "Wait, this isn't right. Lord Galvatron told us to rendezvous with him here. He didn't mention anything about a fight with the Autobots," said Astrotrain. "Over there, team, look! It's Astrotrain and Drift," said Sideswipe. "Alright then, I suppose Galvatron isn't the only one looking to get his behind kicked today," said Mirage. "Quick, come on everyone," said Bumblebee as he and the Autobots marched their way onto the battlefield, with Daniel driving onto Bumblebee and Mirage going invisible. Astrotrain fired multiple missiles at the running Autobots. "Curses! Didn't we just lose them back at that Bermuda place? Why are they here again?" said Astrotrain. Deadlock transformed into his helicopter mode and fired non-stop at the charging Autobots, with Ratchet and Sideswipe falling back and firing from a distance. "Stay behind me, Ratchet. Cover me from here and I'll fire at them." "Understood," said Ratchet. Sideswipe fired a barrage of missiles at Deadlock, sending the Decepticon crashing towards the ground. Deadlock transformed and proceeded to slice through the forest trees. "Alright, so be it. This is the fair fight I wanted with you Autobots anyway. Now give it your all," he said. Deadlock continued to slice his way through the forest as he charged straight for Sideswipe and Ratchet. "Here he comes, Sideswipe. Get ready." "Don't worry, I always am." Sideswipe pulled out his two blades and proceeded to clash with Deadlock in a sword fight. "You sure love to telegraph your moves, eh, Drift?" "I told you, my name's not Drift." As Bumblebee drove around the mountain, he went into his attack mode. "Alright, Daniel, get ready. We're gonna rain fire on Astrotrain." "Don't worry, I'm ready," said Daniel. Astrotrain stayed in the air, blasting at the Autobots from a safe distance. "This is almost too easy," Astrotrain boasted. Suddenly, Mirage appeared from behind Astrotrain and impaled him with his blade. "Ah! Didn't see that coming, did ya?" said Mirage. Astrotrain collapsed onto the floor, with Mirage tagging him from the back. Bumblebee proceeded to fire at Astrotrain. "Yeah!" shouted Daniel. The furious Astrotrain activated his exhaust pack and began to sporadically fly around the area, with Mirage trying to hang on to him. "Dang it, these Decepticons are like bugs. They can't keep still," said Mirage. "Don't worry, Mirage. I got you," said Bumblebee. Bumblebee transformed and left Daniel in a corner. Alright, Daniel, you stay right here, understood? Don't move from this spot. Okay, said Daniel. Daniel waited and watched from the sidelines, watching everyone fight each other. Sideswipe and Deadlock continued their sword fight. Need some assistance, Sideswipe? Asked Ratchet. Ha! Can't win a fight without getting help from your buddies? Asked Deadlock. No, I'll take you down on my own, said Sideswipe. Don't worry, Ratchet. I'll handle this riffraff, he said. That's what I like to hear, said Deadlock. The two continued their sword fight. Ultra Magnus, protect Daniel. Escort him out of here, said Optimus as he continued to fight Galvatron. Of course. Ultra Magnus transformed and made his way towards Daniel. Get in, Daniel. I will get you to safety, Magnus said. Daniel went inside the truck and Magnus proceeded to slowly drive out the raging battlefield. What's gonna happen, Ultra Magnus? Daniel asked in panic. Don't worry, kid. No matter what happens, I'll make sure to keep you safe, he reassured Daniel. It's too dangerous for a human like you to be involved in this. But I have to help in some way. It's my fault we got into this situation in the first place. I was the one that coaxed Bumblebee to take us to Bermuda. It isn't your fault, kid. The Decepticons planted a trap for all of us, and unfortunately we all took the bait. Ultra Magnus made his way out of the forest. Blasts continued to rock the mountain. Optimus proceeded to slice through Galvatron's arm. How much longer are we going to keep this up, Galvatron? How many more eons are we going to make this feud last? The war is over already. We have to move forward. But you didn't want any of that, did you? You just want to keep being the warlord, said Optimus. Galvatron grew frustrated. Without Cybertron, I have no purpose. It is our home, my rightful place to rule. You gave yourself that purpose, but you don't have to keep embracing it. It is a role I was made for, Optimus, and I will fight for it to no end. After all, you're the true reason Cybertron was destroyed in the first place. You betrayed your own kind for a bunch of fleshlings, said Galvatron. As far as I'm concerned, Optimus, I was the king that Cybertron chose, and you its traitor. I will restore what needs to be, and then the war can finally end. Once I end the Autobots and the human race. Over my dead body, said Optimus. Astrotrain got blasted by both Bumblebee and Mirage, who shot him in the air. Astrotrain proceeded to roll down the mountain, crashing right into the center. Deadlock, I could use some help out here, he screamed. But Deadlock was still facing off against Sideswipe. Sideswipe began to barrage Deadlock with missiles, but Deadlock sliced through all of them with his blades. Deadlock then leaped forward and proceeded to toss his blade straight through Sideswipe. Ah! Sideswipe! Shouted Ratchet. Damn these blades, man. Talk about overcompensating, he said. Deadlock grabbed the blade and pinned Sideswipe towards the mountain. Ratchet arrived and began firing at Deadlock, but Deadlock threatened him. Don't fire any more shots or your friend's head shall roll. Looks like I win this fight, Deadlock declared. Ha! Bold of you to think this fight is over. Sideswipe knocked Deadlock back, pulling the blade out of his chest. He proceeded to throw said blade back towards Deadlock. What are you doing? Asked Deadlock. Hey now, you want a fair fight, don't you? Wouldn't be very honorable of me to have you continue to face me without your weapon. Deadlock got back up and armed himself. So you're gonna keep this up, are you? Said Sideswipe. I must. I serve Lord Galvatron's every needs, and I will kill you both if I must, said Deadlock. Sideswipe, it's all right, Ratchet. I told you, I got this. Suddenly, Deadlock got blasted, and then attacked from behind by Mirage and Bumblebee. What? Game over, Drift. We got you and your little train buddy now, said Bumblebee. This fight doesn't end until Lord Galvatron prevails over Optimus Prime. Optimus and Galvatron continued their fight, kicking each other towards the mountain and instantly slashing and blasting at each other with all they got. Optimus then pushed Galvatron towards the mountainside. This ends here, Galvatron. I will not allow you to detonate any more seeds, not here or anywhere else. There are some things I can let go, but I won't overlook what you did to all those people at Bermuda. Just try it, Optimus. Try and stop me, Galvatron responded. Optimus pulled out his battle blades and stabbed Galvatron. Where did you place your next set of seeds? Tell me now. What are you talking about? I only came here to rendezvous with Astrotrain and Deadlock, Galvatron said as he punched Optimus, knocking him back. Why would I detonate a seed in this worthless piece of land? If I were to cyberform a terrain, it would be in a large city where there is more useful metal to provide for. Galvatron said. You mean you didn't come here to cyberform these lands? Said Optimus. But I don't understand. Didn't Optimus say Director Rosenthal had called us down here to stop Galvatron from detonating another seed? Asked Bumblebee. How could we do that? Said Astrotrain. We don't even have any seeds with us right now. They're all with Master Biowave, he said. Biowave? Who's that? Suddenly, a horde of ships arrived towards the sky. What is that up there? Daniel said, looking out towards Magnus's front window. A large number of ships approached the Earth's atmosphere. The ships carried some weapon ships that the Decepticons had left behind back on Escobar 3. They were now Quintesson ships. The Quintessons had made it to Earth, arriving to take their much-desired revenge against the Decepticons who decimated their world. Optimus, distracted by the ships, ended up getting blasted in the shoulder by Galvatron. Ah! Wait, Galvatron, what are those ships? Are they yours? No, I don't know where they came from, but I could care less about that. Galvatron put his foot on Optimus's chest. Before I deal with that man, I will finally put you to rest, Optimus. To think you were once my brother. Don't worry, though. I shall give you the most respectable execution of them all. After all, who would I be without you, Optimus? Now it's time for me to find out. Galvatron charged his cannon, preparing to fire it at Optimus's spark. Ultra Magnus transformed and carried Daniel in his hand. Optimus! Just then, one of the ships fired directly at Galvatron. Ah! Wait, what? Are those allies? Asked Ultra Magnus. The ships hovered closer towards Mount Porte-Crayon. The Quintessons descended from the ships, revealing themselves as these cyber-organic beings with large tentacles and multiple heads. What are those strange creatures? Asked Ratchet. We are the Quintessons. We have come here, followed you all to this planet to exterminate you Cybertronians. You thought you could come to our planet, drain our resources, and destroy our environments, but we have been fully aware of your actions against our world, and it will not go unanswered. What? What are they talking about? Asked Bumblebee. We don't even know these strange aliens, said Sideswipe. Ultra Magnus, what's going on? Did you guys wrong these aliens in any way? Asked Daniel. No. If I had to guess, these were actions caused by the Decepticons. Galvatron and the others must have done something horrible to these Quintessons, and now their sins have followed them here to Earth, said Magnus. Galvatron got up, enraged. Who are you? I don't even know you repulsive creatures. Of course you wouldn't recognize us now, but we rapidly evolved from the alien beings you hunted down, our original bloodline, the Barons. Barons? Galvatron laughed. So that's why you came here? To enact your revenge? You measly creatures should just stand down and know when you've lost the fight. If I was able to keep you in line before, I could do it again, boasted Galvatron. Wait, that's it. Those alien creatures that had disguised themselves as Astrotrain and Deadlock back at Bermuda. Those must have come from whichever world those Quintessons came from, said Magnus. The Decepticons must have domesticated them and brought them here, he followed. Daniel was amazed and shocked. I can't believe what I'm seeing and hearing. Astrotrain and Deadlock flew their way back towards Galvatron. Optimus was dragged back towards the Autobots by Ultra Magnus. So this is how Galvatron must have gathered all his resources. He exploited another world to do it. It is so like him, said Optimus. The Autobots watched as Galvatron and the Decepticons were confronted by the Quintessons. Haha, this ought to be entertaining, said Sideswipe. Looks like the Decepticons can no longer get away from the consequences they create, said Ratchet. About time, said Mirage. Maybe now they'll finally accept their defeat. I, for one, am looking forward to the Decepticons finally getting their just desserts. What do we do, Optimus? Asked Ultra Magnus. Do we help them, or do we allow it to happen? It seems Galvatron's actions are finally catching up with him. If that is how it must be, then we see no further interference here, said Optimus. Besides, it seems as though Galvatron had no plans to activate any seeds in this area. Perhaps the director made a mistake with his report. Not so fast. Quintesson suddenly appeared. We won't be allowing any Cybertronians to leave this vicinity. You're all to be taken to custody by us now. What? We didn't do anything, said Bumblebee. To us all, you Cybertronians are the same. You exploited our planet and treated our ecosystem with cruelty. I imagine you all doing the same to this world. Well, you're half right, but it's not us, it's the Decepticons, said Sideswipe. We left Escobar 3 for this precise reason. Not to just take our revenge, but because you have something in particular that we desire. Galvatron is infused with revitalization energy. Revitalization energy? Asked Optimus. It is a special powerful energy released by the scavenging sages of our planet. When the Decepticons came to Escobar 3, they used the revitalization energy left behind by the scavenging sages to rebuild their fallen leader Megatron and turn him into Galvatron. So that's how Galvatron was born? Through this weird magic energy? Asked Bumblebee. Yes, we use revitalization energy to restore our ecosystems back to life, but it is a powerful energy that can also restore other forms of life, including Cybertronians. Wait, so this revitalization energy, it's kind of similar to the energy within the matrix of leadership, right, Optimus? Asked Magnus. Yes, it appears so, Optimus responded. Indeed. You greedy Cybertronians use something that once belonged to us to power and restore yourselves, all while you killed off our kind and destroyed our lands. Quintessons began to corner both the Autobots and Decepticons. Suddenly, Galvatron and the Decepticons took advantage of the situation. With one of the Quintessons distracted, he fired and blasted one of their ships. Galvatron, alongside Astrotrain and Deadlock, proceeded to fall back in retreat. No! That Cybertronian Galvatron is infused with lots of revitalization energy. We must capture them. The Quintessons quickly grew frustrated. So be it. We'll eliminate these remaining Cybertronians right here. The Autobots pulled out their weapons, ready to fire at the Quintessons. Looks like we're in for yet another fight, said Sideswipe. Stop, you Quintessons. We did not do anything to you or your home planet, Escobar 3, said Optimus. These actions were caused by the Decepticons, and they're the ones who caused you all this needless suffering. That doesn't matter. You're still Cybertronians, still part of the same species that did this to us. You cannot blame a whole species for the actions of the few, said Optimus. Please, we don't need it to escalate like this. Perhaps we can instead help each other, Optimus followed. We will never accept help from Cybertronians. We will eliminate you all and take back our revitalization energy. The Quintessons gathered their weapons, aiming them towards the Autobots. Optimus and the others prepared their fighting stances. All right, I wanted to resolve this matter peacefully. But if you Quintessons can't see that, then it looks like another fight is upon you all, said Optimus. Daniel looked frightened. No, no, he told himself. What have I done? I now roped all of them into this needless conflict, as if dealing with the Decepticons wasn't stressful enough for them already. I need to fix this. I really messed up, Daniel continued to tell himself. The Autobots and Quintessons were now left in a standoff, with one side seemingly waiting for the other to act first. But just then, a barrage of missiles fired towards the Quintessons. The Quintessons proceeded to move back. It was Stratosphere, who arrived continuously firing at the Quintessons with the help and cover fire from various AHTF troops and tanks. Quintessons! The Cybertronians have allied themselves with the local life forms. Let's retreat for now. The Quintessons all gathered and proceeded to take off in their newly fashioned ships, which were formerly Decepticon ships. We will meet again soon, Cybertronians. We won't stop until we've collected all that is owed to us. The Quintesson ships took off and disappeared into the clouds. The AHTF soldiers arrived. Optimus, what happened? Were those more Decepticons? No. They were a brand new enemy. An enemy that the Decepticons brought with themselves to Earth, said Optimus. Meanwhile, Galvatron, Astrotrain, and Deadlock ended up in a secluded area. That was rough. I suppose we should be glad we even made it out alive, said Astrotrain. I don't think that's how Lord Galvatron was expecting the rendezvous to go, said Deadlock. I don't understand. How did the Autobots find out about our precise location? How did they know we would be there, in that specific mountain, said Astrotrain. I don't know, but I will find out, said Galvatron. Most likely it was that new alliance that Autobots have formed with the humans, the Autobot Human Task Force. What we need to do is crush that alliance. I suppose now is a better time than ever to use our secret weapon, Ultra Magnus. A while back, I sent some of my minions down here to Earth to place a Minicon drone inside that Autobot's head, so we could keep tabs on our enemies at all times. But that Minicon serves another purpose, and we shall use it to tear that alliance apart, said Galvatron. Lord Galvatron continues to be obsessed with destroying our enemies in dishonorable ways, Deadlock said to himself. I cannot take this anymore. I must prove to Lord Galvatron that there are better ways to take down our enemies. I will prove it to him. We cannot allow ourselves to be distracted by those quintessons. They're merely a nuisance. We will wipe them out again like we did before. But first we must focus on our primary mission, restoring Cybertron, said Galvatron. BioWave is currently building a machine that will allow us to utilize the seeds within a larger scale. Once it's complete, we will bring forth our troops to our newly established base in Siberia. Then we will burn this world in cyber matter and rebuild Cybertron from its core. Be patient, my Decepticons. We've run into some obstacles, but there's no obstacles we can't overcome, boasted Galvatron. Meanwhile, the Decepticons were preparing themselves to take on their new enemies. We must destroy these Autobots and Decepticons. Make no mistake, all Cybertronians are enemies, and we need the revitalization energy to maintain our planet in stable condition. The Quintesson scientist began to analyze the scavenging sage he had captured. It's amazing how these creatures keep our world afloat in this universe. Their power is incredible. The Quintesson proceeded to feed the scavenging sage with leftover carcasses and dead matter. The sage fed and fed, releasing more revitalization energy. With this energy, we can heal ourselves up and put up an endless fight against those Cybertronians. They may have a lot in their arsenal, but so do we. Wait, let's not overestimate what we have either. Besides, I have just made a new discovery. What is it? The Quintesson scientist proceeded to explain what he had learned from his recent studies of the scavenging sages. It would appear that these scavenging sages aren't native species to our world, Escobar 3. It seems these creatures come from a different planet. They came to Escobar 3 eons ago, through a rogue planet. A rogue planet? Yes, that's right. Rogue planets are planets that have been exiled from their star systems and moved through the galaxy with no star to orbit, simply wandering the universe in a lonely journey. It would seem that whatever this planet was at some point, it came close to Escobar 3's orbit, and thus the scavenging sages were released into the surface of Escobar 3. I must continue my research. The Quintessons continued to study and analyze the new information they had gathered. It seemed as though there was more to this mysterious revitalization energy than they had realized. This same energy was used to restore entire ecosystems and give new life to various things, even being capable of reviving Cybertronians like Galvatron and granting them new, more powerful, and highly evolved bodies. Just where did this strange, powerful energy come from? Back at the AHTF base, the Autobots were now discussing about the new three-sided war they were dragged into. Bumblebee noticed Daniel walking off in the distance. Daniel, what's wrong? Nothing, Daniel suddenly noticed a news story on TV. Various reports and coverage of the Bermuda incident quickly surfaced everywhere, with stories of its coverage breaking the internet as well. Just look at this, said Daniel. This print says the incompetency of the Autobots and the Alliance caused this mess, said Daniel. Those are just headlines people add to draw in more viewers, said Bumblebee. Don't you get it, B? I messed up badly today. I dragged you into the Bermuda situation and pulled us right into a trap. And now, thanks to me, you guys ended up dealing with another conflict involving those freakish Quintesson things, said Daniel. Daniel proceeded to tear up his exosuit blueprints. This was a mistake. Optimus was right. I should have just stayed home, said Daniel. Now come on, Daniel, said Bumblebee. Bumblebee proceeded to wrap his arm around the crying and frustrating Daniel. Look, it's not your fault, buddy. I should have listened to Optimus too. Admittedly, I always try to impress Optimus, and it's gotten me into so much trouble in the past. I guess that's why I'm so fond of you. Not just because you're Sam's boy, but because I see a lot of me in you, Bumblebee added. No matter what happens, no matter how this ends, I promise you, Daniel, I will protect you. Optimus will keep you safe too. We all will. Don't worry, B. I won't push that burden on any of you guys anymore, said Daniel. What do you mean, buddy? Because I'm done getting involved in all this. Optimus was right. I should have just left it in your hands. I want you to take me home, Bumblebee. I'm sorry for all this. Daniel, come on, No, Bumblebee. Don't say anything else. Just give me a ride back home, okay? I'll just go home and forget it ever happened, Daniel said. That marks the end of Part 4. Stay tuned for Part 5.